Hello, hello, hello. Right. Welcome to my channel, guys. 'Tis I, Jack, aka Space Madness, and other various words. Today we're going to be doing... I'm just going to look at all my abilities and stuff. And then break it all down for you guys, to the best of my ability anyways, because I don't really look at this stuff anymore. I just kind of know what I'm doing. Yeah, we'll go with armor first and then the abilities and see how it all kind of connects essentially. So, I've got the cheapest lightsaber you can buy on GTM back then, but it's customized because it's awesome. It's gold and I just like gold. I like gold. And I've got a 300 augment on. So, obviously you know about the 80s mods. If not, Google the 80s mod guy when you reach level 80 and then you can kind of create your own ones. Which is the Hilts mod and enhancements. And the actual augments themselves, the critical... Just to let you guys know, by the way, this is Deception, and it's PvP. So this is kind of my gear for that. So yes, we just want to get the critical mainly and power. Power, critical, mastery, endurance, and force power. That's kind of where we roll, what we be doings. And obviously I've got a critical on there. I think the numbers you kind of roughly are looking for is what I've got here. Unless things have changed. Alacrity, you normally want 7 point... I think it's 7.5 it should be, but mine's a little tinsy bit less. Or is it 7.4? Dang it, I forgot. Check out Ivano337. When I came back last year after a few years, it's good to get refreshers, man, and he's done so many guides and stuff like that. And he's on Darth Malgus as well, so shout out to that guy. But I looked at some of his stuff just to kind of roughly get where I'm going, and then I talked a bit more to other people's to get back into it. But yeah, this is essentially what you want. Accuracy should be 5%. So I don't know why I'm being a silly sausage, but it works for me. Because it, you got that base, because tanks normally have the base of an extra 5% accuracy, so they don't need to do that, or 10% or whatever it is. But we actually should be on 5%, which is weird, but I do quite okay. So I don't know. Check out someone else's guide, man, but I can assure you, I kill a crap load of people and can hold myself against 342s. So maybe I'm right and everyone else is wrong. Who knows? Who knows? I told you, this is me figuring out as well. I don't look at my stats anymore and stuff. And then critical, I've got a crap load, alacrity. So yeah, the normal people say 5% accuracy, and the alacrity should be around, I guess 7.5 I was going for. Or maybe it's less again. This is terrible. Such a terrible guide. And then I've got critical again, force power and accuracy with my 300 augment, which is a critical. Yeah. And then in there again, it's just critical, power, endurance. All 336, that's what you need now, because everyone above kind of scales down to you. So if you really don't like doing PvE as much as me anymore, then 'tis your best bet, mate. You're going to have to just get there to 336. Critical, power, endurance. Critical, alacrity, power. Pretty much what you want to be doing. Alacrity in there. Good to just get your base gear, and then the augments kind of... You can mess around because augments obviously have the extra pluses and stuff that do like an extra 0.5% here and there, so you can probably adjust it after you get your main stuff and start to grind for your augments, because they take ages. Unless you've got money and you can just buy them OEMs now. They used to be loads of bloody money. Loads of money. It took me months to do it. Now people can just buy them. I wish I could have just bought them cheaper. Critical alacrity. Critical power alacrity again. It's all about the 300s. That's pretty easy to explain. This is where it gets more interesting. So I've got the critical one there with my augment. Which is cool. And now, Shadowcraft. This is for Deception's wet dream. So using Phantom Stride from Stealth grants Shadowcraft. So Phantom Stride is that one there. When obviously you're invisible, you can jump to people. Use the force to move through time and space, appearing at your enemy target and increasing your movement speed by 75% for 3 seconds. Doesn't break stealth, so you can maul. You go invisible to them and maul. And that normally stuns them. I'll show you how that all works when I get to it. So yeah, using that, what I just said, grants Shadowcraft, increasing your critical hit chance by 100% for 6 seconds. And then Force Cloak resets the cooldown of Phantom Stride. So that's why I've got 2 cloaks. Because it all works in unison. It all connects. So yeah, Shadowcraft and 2 cloaks are very important. For the purpose of just mad damage. And then you can go invisible and then do it again. And go invisible and do it again. You've got 18 seconds of crit if you play it right. But False Cloak's good for attack and defense, given the right situation. Security notice. So yeah, and then you want the cooldown of Recklessness is reduced by 15 seconds, which is very helpful, because you always want to pop Recklessness before you do Reaping Strike and Discharge. I'll show you the way I kind of jump into things in a minute after all this, to give you a kind of whole, you know what I mean. It's all connected, blah 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 blah. So yeah, grants 3 charge of Recklessness, which increases your false critical chance of your direct attacks and heals by 60%. Each time a direct force ability critical hits, or each time a channel force ability is activated, 1 charge is consumed. So that's just good, man. You just want to pop it as soon as you're just in the heat of things, you know. And obviously at the start, because you've already got the 6 seconds of crit as well. This also, so yeah, look at the statistics. Crit chance by 100%. Or direct attacks and heals by 60% each time. I'm starting to think I shouldn't use that straight away. And heals each time a direct force ability critically hits, or each time a channeled force ability is activated. 1 charge is consumed. Last 20 seconds. I think I've been doing something stupid for a while. Huh. Very weird. It just seems redundant now. Let me know, Assassins, in below. But I think I've just been messing up for a while now. Phantom Strike. Because you've got, yeah, so after 6 seconds, realistically, then you'll pop it. And then you can do it again. Increases the chance by 60%. What a doofus. Right, so don't do what I've been doing for months. I'll show you that in a minute, actually, when I do the intros. Hilarious, what a donut. And then I've got the relics, which is healing an ally or damage, has 30% chance of granting mastery for 6 seconds, which is wonderful. And 30% for power for 6 seconds. So mastery, power, beautiful. So that's all my items. Oh no, there's a few more bits and bobs as well. So we've got V9 seismic grenades, which is just what you need in PvP. Obviously adrenals and med packs. I've just stacked up too many at this point. But I have infinite, just pop it whenever you can if you want to. And for the grenades I've got cybertech and slicing. Because to create a grenade you need Vandite, which you can just buy off the GTN if you're rich. But or you can, the underworld you need basically. I just buy them because I've got loads of money. But this is what you want, the polished aluminium cybers, which is in assembly components. And it's these things here, which obviously you need cybertech for to create the grenades and the things for it. So yeah, scavenged you need for them. And underworld. So obviously cybertech, scavenged and underworld would make more sense. But I've got archaeology and slicing because it just connects to the MK things that I sell. That's for another time. So yeah, cybertech basically, if you just love PvP and just want to create a crap load of grenades. And then you just do this. And 5 people are on the floor for 5 seconds unless someone, which someone always does, interrupts them. What else? We've got, oh yeah, Advanced Chiroprac's Versatile Stim, which is very important for us. Mastery and Power. Again, you've probably seen this before. How we've got Mastery Power there, Mastery Power everywhere. And Critical is obviously very important too. But they'd kind of come with it. What else? These are all the things I've got just there, but they're more PvE related crap. Or if you're a tank. Which is not for this video, it's more of a deception thing. Yes, I think that pretty much covers all my items and stuff. Outfitter, I am the sexiest assassin in the world. Combat style. Cool, so now how this all works. We'll get to that actually when I go to my ship. Warrior, Inquisitors are up here, right? Where are we? It's been so while. Oi! Come to my ship. My ship, my brak, and my ship. Wait, what? Seems rather redundant. Oh my god, it appeared out of nowhere. My computer is so awesome now, but I still use my phone for my internet, so I can't actually do a lot. Can be a bit buggy still. Potentially. Will I cut this or will you? Will I not? Who knows? Cool, man. So invisibility is where you want to be. I appreciate you, mate, but out the way. Things to do. Cool. So abilities for PvP deception. So all of them you kind of get eventually. I'll just go through them anyway. Dealing critical damage, grants entropic field, increases damage reduction. I have no idea what entropic field is. Oh, dealing increased damage. Grants increasing damage reduction by 3%. This is what it is. And obviously we got a crap load of criticals, man. Like I said, that 18 seconds of potential crits. Not including recklessness. So yeah, that's 24 seconds if you play it right. Jeez. Yeah, so just damage reduction, cool. Executioner increases all damage dealt to targets below 30% of max health by 5%. Additionally, reduces the force consumed by Assassinate by 10. Consumed by Assassinate by 10. I use Assassinate quite a lot. Whenever it pops up when they're below 30% health. So that's cool. This is just explaining to the people kind of what it is, the basic people. Assassin's Mark. Maul sunders its target for 45 seconds. Sunder targets have their armor reduced by 20%, which is just beautiful. I'll show you in a sec, but we full Phantom Stride and Maul straight away, just to obviously get that down and stuff. And it stuns them. So it's good to remind myself that it also reduces their armor. Recklessness and Phantom Stride build free static charges. And exiting combat or activating Force Cloak in combat reduces the active cooldown of Recklessness by 60 seconds, which is nuts. Plus 15 extra seconds we've got, so 75. So we're on a cooldown of 1 minute 9.8 seconds instead of 2 minutes, I guess. Recklessness, additionally, the critical damage by Maul is increased by 30%. Ooh, maybe that's why I do it, thinking about it. I knew there was a reason. Build free static charges. The critical damage dealt by Maul is increased by 30%. No, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. With the 100% on top as well. I'll show you in a minute, but I do Phantom Stride. Where I said about the recklessness earlier, ignore me. I'll show you it in a sec. Direct damage attacks grant duplicity, causing your next Maul to deal 20% more damage. Deal 20% more damage. Oh yeah, so when we maul, we do a direct damage anyway. So we do maul again, if it's shiny. And consumes 75% less force. The effect it cannot occur once every 10 seconds. And that's when it goes shiny, actually. That's when you pop it. Incredible. Surge in charge restores. I don't even have surge in charge. Your surge in charge restores free force over 9 seconds when it deals damage to an enemy target. That is just a passive. This is what it is. In addition, lacerate and severe slash builds charge of voltage and discharge causes its targets to become vulnerable for 45 seconds. Ah, incredible. Recklessness. So that's why I do recklessness, because it all leads to things. Lacerate, which I do, and that's when it stacks up. I'll show you in a second again. Vulnerable, takes 5% more damage from force attacks as well. Yeah, no, it makes so much sense. Cool. Thrash, lacerate, voltage, slash. So I've got lacerate, which I use predominantly out of them. Low slash, so I haven't got voltage, slash, and deception. Dark Embrace increases force regeneration by 25%, reduces damage taken. When triggered, Dark Embrace is active while in stealth mode after leaving stealth. Active while in stealth mode or for 15 seconds after leaving stealth. So that's why you go invisible. Increase the full range and reduce damage taken. Well, that's awesome, man. That's why you always start in stealth and do that. I'm reminding myself. I knew all this, but I just didn't know how to explain it until I've reread it. Surging charge. Raw force energy surges through your weapon, giving you melee attacks a 50% chance to deal 6,000 internal damage and build 1 static charge. Static charge stacks up to 3 times, increases damage dealt by your next discharge, of course. So that's when that goes shiny. Discharge. Cool, and now the ones you actually pick, which is more important. So I've got activating force cloak grants 2 seconds of force shroud, which is helpful because everyone loves to stun us and put so many debuffs on us, which take us out of stealth. So that just means I can use shroud for more open battle related situations. A hut ball is very good for, because obviously I run with the ball a lot. So yeah, I use that. It's just more, you can, do you know what I mean? You can just definitely get into stealth where you can then start your next attack with all the buffs I've just spoken about. If you're not invisible, half of that doesn't occur. Force Shroud purges all hostile effects and increases your chance to resist force and tech for 3 seconds. Does not break stealth. You never use that in stealth because obviously I've got that. So again, yeah, it's more open battle. So that's cool, man. So I've got like 3 shrouds essentially. 2 connected to my force cloak, and then 1 I can just use whenever I want. Honey. Increase the damage dealt by lacerate by 25%. I don't know why I have that. I use it sometimes, but normally for breaking people apart. Maybe I should change that. Full speed and phantom stride grants false phase, removing all movement and parent effects and grant immunity to them. Why have I got that? So 10,000, so it only doesn't have a 2,500. Which up to 8, and you never get 8 people you're doing lacerate to, maybe 3 to 5 on average. So that's only an extra 10,000 every spin. Well, I guess it does help quite a lot actually. Fair enough. I might change that I might change that. No, I don't know. Let's go for it all and see if because normally I find out it just connects to something and there's a reason for why I do things. We'll come back to that. Ball lightning. Blast the target of a ball of lightning for 20,000 pretty much. Standard weak target is additionally stunned for 3 seconds. So that's irrelevant in PvP. Standard weak targets. Yeah, so that's just actually the item, and everyone has that anyway. So yeah, that's just obviously one of your important ones. Fade reduces the cooldown of Force Cloak by 30 seconds and extends its duration by 5 seconds. Which is obviously very important. We need that. We absolutely love it. And the other ones just are quite redundant. For me, anyway. Low slash, again, you just get, and it's here next to your electrocute. Stun, stun, slow, stun, stun, slow. And then you've got your break, unbreakable will. So 4 different ways to annoy the enemy. Lightning critical. Force spending melee attacks now benefit from recklessness and consume its stacks. Which is pretty much all my melee attacks. You deal additional energy damage to targets you critically hit with melee attacks. This effect can happen more than every 6 seconds. And we have so many critical buffs on us all the time, mostly. So that's just very important. And we're a melee people, so obviously, yeah. I'm not going to read the other ones next to it, because I know I've chosen these for a reason. Voltaic engine. Voltaic stacks build up Voltaic slash, increase your critical hit chance. Voltaic stacks built by Voltaic slash. Voltage stacks built by Voltaic slash increases your critical hit chance. I don't even use Voltaic slash. Oh no I do. What an idiot. I forgot. Oh yeah, that's just my spin thing, my normal thing. Just obviously, no, standard. What a twat. What? Strikes the... Cool. So yeah, that's just the actual item. No, that's the ability we get anyway. Oh my lord. Sorry. My brain's failing. Strikes the target twice. Damage each hit, so up to 10, 20,000. Each use of this ability builds voltage, which gives shock and ball lightning. Cheers, that one. A 50% chance to automatically trigger your surge in charge of its normal rate limit. Stacks up to 2 times. Surge in charge, which then allows you to do your discharge, I believe. So it's all connected. It's all connected. And you need it anyway, so yeah. And then Maul Spike. Dealing damage with Maul from stealth stuns the target for 2 seconds. Which, oh my god. Very, very cool, man. You just need to be done. Alternatively, you have your Overload, which I guess can be used for Hutball. But this can just put people in the fire. You can just stun them anyway. It's just an extra stun, basically. You've already got stun, stun, slow. Maul's now a stun. It's evil. That's what I use for Deception, but Overload all day of the week if I'm an Assassin tank. I absolutely love pushing people into fire as an Assassin. And then Penetrating Slash. Increase the armor penetration and critical hit chance of Reaping Strike by 20%. And once I find it, because apparently I forget the names of everything, Reaping Strike, you just kind of do your cool jump thing on it. I'll show you in a minute, but increase the armor penetration critical. Yeah, you just use it a lot basically, and it lash the target of an acrobatic strike, dealing 30 to 35 damage, 1,000. Only usable from stealth or in 15 seconds of performing a critical strike. And we do that constantly, man. So it always pops up. And now we've got an extra armor penetration and critical hit chance, which is great. And then finally, Recklessness, which obviously we talk about in length, haven't we, previously? And Reaping Strike, which we just spoke about. Cool, man. So I hope that all kind of makes sense. Come back to this quick. Increase the damage built by Lacerate by 25%. It's redundant. I only use Lacerate as a break against a lot of people. I don't really ever use it as a damage thing that much. So I might change it. Increase your movement speed by 15% in your active movement speed and your active effective stealth level by 10. Activating Shock, Ball Lightning, or Eradicate increase your movement speed by 50%. Wow, that'd be cool in battle to run around. Full Speed and Phantom Stride grants False Phase, removing all impairment effects and granting immunity. Interesting. So Full Speed and Phantom Stride So I use Phantom Stride straight away, and it removes all the impairing effects. But that's irrelevant, because I've already... The way I've got it set up is my Phantom Stride, or my Stealth, like I don't have impairing effects. And I use it for other things, like being invisible and stuff. I don't use it out too much, unless I'm jumping up to get a hut bar. I don't know, I feel like that kind of would be good for more hut ball related things. Whereas this, you can just use in any situation. It increases movement by 15% and you're... That just does it naturally, so I'm 15% quicker, and operatives might have a less chance to find me invisible. Activating shock, ball lightning or eradicate. I haven't got eradicate or ball lightning, it's only that, isn't it? I mean, I do use ball lightning quite a lot. And then all of a sudden, my movement speed's 65% extra for 9 seconds, and then it goes back down to... To be honest, man, I don't know why, yeah. I don't use that, yeah, so cool, I'm using that in future. I don't think that's really helpful, man. Like, Assassins, we're not in the battle, we're not around 5 to 8 people constantly. Unless you are, then you should do that. Cool. And then finally, oh my lord, now let's put it into practice. So just have a look into this area and see what I click first. I'll do it all quickly. So, you want to be behind them, obviously. Just pretend this dummy is facing the other way. Oh. Maul, and then a Recklessness, Reaping Strike, Discharge, Lightning, and then boom. That's kind of not what I do, actually. So let's restart that again. But that's kind of the ability way of doing it, if you don't have low slash and electrocute. And this is what you normally are supposed to actually properly do. So I go Phantom Stride, Maul, Recklessness, Reaper's Strike, Low Slash, and then I do Discharge, that, and then by the time that ends, you can electrocute him again and then Maul. So you want to spread out the Low Slash and electrocute, essentially. So incapacitates them for 4 seconds. There's a reason you do it though, because there's a few milliseconds in between when you jump on people. So you want to kind of get it so they're low slashed and electrocuted for 8 seconds straight without them throwing a debuff on, which is quite important. I use low slash for most enemies, but I do use electrocute on the people with the biggest debuffs. Like Juggernauts and Power Techs annoy me the most, so I'd rather just throw electrocute on. Because as soon as I'll show you basically what I'm saying. So that, Maul, Recklessness, Low Slash, and then I do Reaping Strike. That, electrocute, and then... Because you jump in and you want to low slash straight away, and then they normally kind of unbreak. That's why you do that rather than electrocute. You don't want them to break that, because it's obviously the cooldown's dramatically more. But then you low slash, yeah, and then you kind of do that, and then just as they're getting out of it, then you kind of electrocute. So you basically, in between low slash and Maul, you can electrocute before they as they're kind of getting up, essentially. So it kind of just flows. I hope that makes sense. I told you I'm crap at explaining it. It's just kind of natural in my head. It just kind of I do at this point rather than think about it. So let's try it a few more times, different variations, but essentially Phantom Stride, Maul to stun them, then you get off that, and then you low slash. And then electrocute, and then, you know what I mean? You just want to just get it all off. Just whatever kind of pops up, essentially, whether it's Maul, Lightning Ball, or Reaping Strike. I don't think I made myself slightly clear a second ago. And then False Cloak. So Phantom Stride, Maul. I told you about the ability we have, it stuns them. And that's when I normally do that. and then you do low strike, assassinate, electrocute, and then you can do that, and then normally you could just kill someone without them even being able to do things, depending how strong they are. And throw a grenade on top of loads of people as well. I hope that makes sense, guys. Yeah, cool. Right, I'm going to have a few beers and play PvP. Catch me on PvP. I'm going to try and recruit a few people. But all the PvP gods are normally in guilds already. Yeah, catch you later. Bye.